In the video that you're watching right now, I'm going to give you the easiest strategy that you can use to completely dominate the accounts that you're using right now, okay? If you actually master this strategy, you will never look back at any other accounts, okay? So let's just get straight into it, right? So this is what you need to do. You need to mark only trade within the London kill zone, 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. on the 5 minute time frame. Then you mark out the highs and the lows of Asian session, right? So let's just do it step by step. So I'm marking out the highest point right here. So this will be the highest point right there. So I'm marking at the highest point and I'm marking at the lowest point of Asian session, right? So once I've actually done that, what we need to do becomes very, very crucial. We need to identify which part of price gets liquidated first. This means which part of price actually gets swept first. So let's say it was a movement like this, that would be the lows being swept. And if it was a movement like actually this, that would be the highs being swept, right? So we need to look at a movement like that. So if I play price forward, you're going to see exactly that the highs have completely just been swept, right? So as soon as the highs got swept, this is what you need to do. You need to first actually mark this out as a liquidity sweep. So that's the liquidity sweep done right there. What you need to do now is find a breakage of structure where fractional highs / fractional lows have completely been swept, and then we reinforce our market structure shift with an engulfing candlestick only if it's possible. Right, let me explain all of this. So we need to find a breakage of structure where price actually breaks on itself and gives us that nice bit of structure break where smart money does not actually buy but it actually sells, right? So we need to actually find a movement like this where price actually breaks on itself, and this will be our market structure shift right here, right? So now if I play price forward, this is what we're looking for. We know exactly what we're looking for, and now if we keep going, you can see that we're getting some rejections and it's going towards the downside. And there we go. We just got a very, very good engulfing candlestick too. So this is the candle that I'm talking about right here. This candle, we got a very, very good candle. And now what we need to do is actually mark this out as our market structure shift, right? So we actually did take out this level right here. This will be the market structure shift. And it is actually a fractional low. And I'm going to be explaining the fractional low after we enter this position and after we hit take profit, right? So let me show you exactly what you need to do from here on out. From here, you need to identify a fair value gap, and then you need to overlap it with the market structure shift to get a very, very high probability on the trade, right? So all I'm going to be doing is actually marking out my fair value gap right there. And once I do actually mark out the fair value gap, let me just write it down. FVG, right? So once you do mark out your fair value gap, what you need to do from here on out is just enter the trade, and then you can execute it straight away. Also, this Asian session indicator, I'm going to be giving you the name of it at the end of the video. So just watch all the way until the end and you'll reap all the rewards, right? So all we need to do from here on out is place our sell position, right? Placing our sell just on the line of the FEG and placing our stop loss just above the line of the fair value gap in the highlighted area, right? What we're going to be doing with the take profit is a 1 to 2.5, right? Or 1 to 3, 3 to whatever, okay? 1 to 3 at least. At least it has to be a 1 to 3. Now what I'm going to be doing is actually play price forward. Let me just move this over all the way. So I'm going to be playing price forward. You can see, just played it right there. Keep playing it. Okay, we just entered our position right there, okay? And as soon as we entered, now we know price is actually running up well and it will go down to smash take profit. But just before that, for any of my serious traders watching this video, this is a message for you, okay? Because I do not give this message out to anyone. Glodi's made over $3,050 within the last 3 weeks that he's been working with us, and he has nothing, okay? He came from Africa and he had nothing with him. He came and I covered 25% of his 100k account cost. Also, I passed his phase 1 and phase 2, and I managed his account for 4 months. And the best part is, he never paid until he got a payout, okay? He only pays with the payout. We take 30% of the payout, and he gets to keep 70, and that's exactly how it ran, right? So make sure you join the first link in the description because we have amazing reviews. Our service works so well, and it's just there's a few spaces left, and I want you that's watching the video right now and you really want to change your life, I want you to change it by joining the first link in the description because it's only about 3 to 5 spots left, okay? So what I'm going to be doing is closing it soon also, right? So back to the strategy. What we need to do now is actually play price forward, and you're going to see exactly how it's going all the way down and it's completely smashed out take profit. Let's see how much we could have actually gotten out of this trade. We could have easily gotten a 1 to Let me just move this over. We could have easily gotten a 1 to 4 right there. Okay, just like that. Right, so this strategy works very, very well, and you can see it. Right, so let me just recap everything that we've been through in the strategy. So the first thing is, the first thing is, number one, we actually got the liquidity sweep, which was the highs, right? Next thing, we actually did get a market structure shift, and let me explain how the fractional highs actually work, right? Fractional highs and fractional lows. So the fractional low works in this way. So let's say this is one candle, let's say this is another candle, let's say this is the third candle, right? So as soon as we have 3 candles, what we need to do now is figure out which candle is the one that's the lowest if you want a fractional low, okay? Even if it's like the same level, we need to just figure out which candle is the lowest, right? So the lowest candle we can clearly see is this one right here in the middle. And once we actually do know it's the lowest candle, this will be our fractional low, because no candle, either one before it or the candle after it, did not go below it. And that's what makes this candle the most important one, right? And as soon as we got that, we can just mark it out as our fractional low, right? And there we go, we just got the fractional low, and that's how we actually identify our market structure shifts, right? So that's one thing right there. So we got the market structure shift with fractional low. Okay, what's next? The next thing is we actually did get the fair value gap. Fair value gap, which actually did overlap the market structure shift, right? As you can see in the checklist that I had here, we can reinforce our market structure shift within a golfing candlestick if it's possible, right? If it's possible, it just adds more conviction and adds more weight onto the strategy and onto the win rate of the strategy, right? So as soon as you've done that, all you had to do after that is literally execute, right? We just execute the trade, 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, and we completely smashed it all the way until the end. Let me show you on the fundamental level how the strategy actually works, just so you have a great idea. And also let me give you the indicator name, right? So the indicator is Asian session range. Right, so that's the name of the indicator right there. You can pause the video, whatever, go check it out. Anyway, what we need to do is wait for Asian session to do whatever it wants. But once it hits a specific trading time, 7 a.m. until 11 a.m., we need to mark out the highs and the lows, right? And as soon as we mark out the highest point and the lowest point, what we need to do from here on out is identify which part of these two actually gets swept first. So let's say the lows actually got swept first because it hasn't in this video. So let's say the lows have just been swept, just like that. We would have our low liquidity right here. Low liquidity completely swept. And as soon as that happens, we're looking for the market structure shift towards the upside, right? So we're looking for a movement which actually replicates this one, market structure shift towards the upside, which also does use the fractional high, right? So this will be our market structure shift with a fractional high. And as soon as we get this is all we need to actually enter our fair value gap, right? So once we get that, we overlap the fair value gap with this market structure shift right there. So this will be our FVG. And as soon as we get the FVG, all we've got to do is enter our position, right? We're going to enter the long position right there, placing our stop loss just below this candle and placing our take profit as Asian sessions highs, right? And as soon as we do that, what we need to do next is literally create a path, and you're going to be waiting for price to enter FEG, and it will go completely up and smash our take profit. This is exactly how this strategy works, and it works very well because I'm the one who's teaching it. ICT teaches it well in his hours, 10 hours, 12 hours long videos, but you're learning it in 10 minutes, right? Just with M's Trades, make sure you click the subscribe button, and I'll be bringing you more. And for the serious traders out there who really want to change their life, just like Clark and Alan right here, who both changed their life. One of them got 19,000 with FTMO, and one of them got 9,000 with Expert Elite Funds. So make sure you join the first link in the description, and I will completely help you out and take care of you and get you a payout. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.